18th June 1974. And the title is Become a Lighthouse and a Might House and a Maker of the New World. Lighthouse and Might House. So Baba says, do you move along whilst considering yourself to be lighthouses and might houses? Not that you are moving along whilst considering yourself to be just light and might, but lighthouses and might houses. That is, bestowers who give light and might. Constantly giving lights and mights. However, you can only become a house when you have accumulated sufficient stock within yourself. If you yourself cannot constantly be an embodiment of light and constantly stabilize in the form of a light, then you cannot become a lighthouse and give light to others. Throughout the day, checking on yourself, your thought process, and constantly stabilizing in the form of a light that I am a soul and my light and my might is radiating, spreading throughout this environment, all souls of this world. Then only we can become lighthouse and can give light to others. How can those who are master almighty authorities and yet not able to use all the powers for themselves, become white houses and donate all the powers to others? So Baba is asking that if we are master almighty authorities, how come we are not able to apply all the powers on ourselves? So Baba says, ask yourself, have I become a lighthouse and a might house? If any souls comes in front of you with the desire to attain a particular power, are you able to give that power to that soul? If someone comes to you with the desire to attain the power to tolerate, right? If someone comes to us angry, agitated, disturbed, no tolerance power, then can we give them the power to tolerate or the power to make decisions? But you give him the power to accommodate or the power to discern instead, if you are not able to give that soul the power to tolerate, which he needs at that most, would you be called a great donor? They need something else, you give them something else. Would you be called a great donor? A bestower of blessings and a word benefactor? No, right? If you yourself are lacking a particular power, how would you be able to make others claim a right to inheritance from the Almighty Authority Father or make them into Master Almighty Authority? So this is our responsibility to attain that power in ourselves. Sun dynasty souls are almighty authorities with all the powers, whereas moon dynasty souls just have some powers. If even one power is lacking, then instead of being one with all the powers, you would be called one who has some powers. That is, you would not be able to claim a right to the fortune of the Sun dynasty kingdom. Only those who have all the powers and all the almighty authorities can claim a right to becoming full of all virtues and 16 celestial degrees full. And those who have less powers can become benefactors, but they cannot become word benefactors. If a soul needs the power to merge, and you give that soul the power to expand, or you give that soul other powers and are not able to give that soul the power he needs, would that soul be satisfied? That soul will not be satisfied. Would that soul consider you to be a word benefactor? For example, if a soul is thirsty for water and you offer him 36 varieties of foods, would someone who is thirsty for water be content with 36 varieties of foods? And would he give thanks to you? Instead of water, if you give someone a diamond, at that time the value of one drop of water is even greater than many diamonds. So Baba is asking us and making us realize that we have to meditate more, we have to connect with him more throughout the day to increase our powers, to discern, and to increase our all the powers, so that we can become the bestower, we can give souls the powers they need. And for that we should have that stock in us. So Baba is saying, in the same way, if you haven't accumulated a stock of all the powers, you would not be able to become the jewels of contentment who make everyone content. And other souls would not consider you to be the bestower of life, bestower of all powers. If you do not become word benefactor soul and are not accepted by all the soul of the world, then without being accepted by them, you cannot become worthy of worship either. Without becoming jewels of contentment, you cannot become the jewels of Bap Dada's forehead. Must be thinking, why is it so much necessity? So Baba is explaining that. Without becoming jewels of contentment for all the souls, you cannot become the jewels of Bap Dada's forehead. Do you have such subtle checking, or do you find it difficult to check even the main points on a gross level? If you do not know how to check yourself, if you do not know, give me a minute. If you do not know how to check yourself, even after thinking about it, you are not able to create your original sanskars, you lose one title. What is that title? Each subject has its own title. What are the four titles of four subjects? Firstly, the subject of knowledge. The title for a clever soul is Master Ocean of Knowledge. Knowledgeful or Swadarshan Chakradhari, they are the same thing. Secondly, the title for one who is accurately Yukti Yukt and Yog Yukt on the pilgrimage of remembrance is powerful, because through remembrance you attain the blessing of all the powers. The title of those who continue to move along accurately on the pilgrimage of remembrance is of being powerful. Third subject is divine virtues. Which title would you give to those who are embodiments of all the virtues? Their title is essenseful. They keep the essence of everything, who spread the fragrance of divine virtues. Even if the essence is kept at a distance, that soul would be able to create an impact. That is, that soul would be able to spread his fragrance. So are you the essential ones who have the spiritual sense of the fragrance of divine virtues? Now check yourself as to whether you have worthy of claiming each title of these subjects. If you do not know how to check yourself, which title would you miss out on? If we do not know how to check ourselves, what do you think? Which title would we miss out? Many say that they want to check themselves, but that their vehicle only moves along with the push. They are not able to use their original sanskars for a long period of time. What would you say is lacking in this? You have the knowledge that this is what you should be doing. You have received the knowledge of being knowers of the three aspects of time. Have you not? Are you knowledgeful? If you are under the influence of any weakness, you know about that weakness and you speak about that weakness too. You even speak about points which will remove that weakness. However, even after speaking about it, you are not able to do what you want. You have the full knowledge in your intellect, but to the extent that you are knowledgeful, are you just as powerful? I think the title of power is missing because knowing everything, knowing the solution also, we are not able to practice it. So because of not having an accurate balance of these, even though you are aware of it, you're not able to do what you want. Those who are not able to check themselves are not able to give blessings to themselves. They are neither able to take blessings from the Father, nor are they able to give blessings to others. This is why those souls miss out on the title of being those who maintain a balance and thereby remain blissful. They miss this title of maintaining a balance and thereby remaining blissful. They are not able to create their sanskar of checking. Very, very important. Therefore, neither checking nor change takes place. Those who cannot become checkers cannot become makers. They neither become makers of the self and nor of the other souls. And nor do they become the makers of the world. They cannot claim a right to praise of being one who creates the new world and a new life. Therefore, now become a checker. Just as all of you together, yourself with all others, with a determination, have made the heart-to-heart conversation of Amrit Vela very successful. In the same way, consider this to be a main aspect of being cooperative with one another and become embodiments of success. Only then will all the tasks be completely accomplished. Checking, because this thing of creating our own stories in our own mind, keep on thinking, we are not able to check ourselves. We are not able to check that what was I thinking uh, from the last 15 minutes, from the last 20 minutes. Sometimes it happens in yoga also, that We are sitting to remember Baba, but our mind wanders and it goes in that direction. And after 15-20 minutes, we realize that what was I thinking? Where was my mind? We are not able to check where my mind wanders, what it needs, what it wants, and how to track it, how to, use the point of knowledge to keep a track on it, to, keep on telling it that, this is not what you actually need. This is what you need. So we have to practice this, Baba says. At present, two main weaknesses are visible in the majority. You will be able to finish these and become embodiments of success over the two of them when you accomplish this task. The weaknesses are laziness and carelessness. The method for finishing these weaknesses is to become a checker. When we become a checker, the laziness and carelessness can go. In 99% of effort makers, laziness and carelessness are visible in the form of some traces of it or its creation. What is the trace of it in the Maharathis? What is its creation in the horse riders? Do you know these? The trace of it is the thought, my nature or my sanskar. This was not my intention, but my words, my eyes, and my features revealed it. Then, uh, this is my nature. Being very strict that no, this is my habit, right? These are signs of it, but there is not the form. There is the trace of it. Laziness and the royal form of carelessness are obstructions to your becoming completely victorious. What is the form of its creation in the horse riders or those who will pass in the second division? What is their form? What is their trademark in their every word? They are experts in constantly giving points and making up stories which keep themselves safe, safeguarding, creating blame on the outside, things, situation, people. They are very active in making themselves blameless and putting the blame on others. They are lawyers but not lawful. Just as lawyers put forward a false case as the truth and put the blame onto those who are innocent, in the same way, those who are in second division will never reveal themselves to be guilty, even if they know it was their fault. है ना? Therefore, they are lawyers but not lawful. We have to check this. We all have that instinct. We all have that habit. We have to check it in a very subtle way. The trademark in the words of such souls is, did I do this? Did I say that? I didn't have anything in my mind. What does it matter once it has emerged? It has happened, so what does it matter? I will put it right. Their words will have the trademark, so what does it matter? In relating the knowledge of the word cycle, you tell the whole story by relating what happened next. What happened after the golden age was that the silver age came. And what happens when the copper age comes? In relating what happened next, you tell the whole story of the cycle. In the same way, souls who are lawyers on the basis of relating what next, spin the whole cycle onto other souls. They put themselves forward as detached observers beyond blames and thereby free themselves with the words of what next, that is, with this one thought, the creation of carelessness and royal laziness increases internally so that instead of such souls becoming powerful, they become weak. This is the form of the creation of laziness and carelessness in the souls of the second division. In order to finish this trace and the progeny of it, it is extremely essential to become your own checker. Out of 8 days, you become a checker for 1 day and remain careless for 7 days. And so, would you create sanskar of what you do for 7 days or what you do for 1 day? For 7 days, right? Therefore, instead of becoming alert, you become easy and lazy. And what would be the result of such souls? Can such souls become world benefactor, great donor, bestowers of all the blessings of powers? No. Therefore, whatever form of these two weaknesses you have, whether a trace or a progeny, only if you finish them from now will you be able to become a bead in the rosary of victory according to the sanskar of being victorious over a long period of time. Acha, to such souls who listen to this and become embodiment of it, to those who put a thought into the practical form in a second, to those who make all souls content with all powers by being lighthouses and might houses, to the jewels of contentment, jewels on the forehead, to those who become the checkers of the self and of their every thought and thereby become makers of the new word, to the word benefactor souls, love, remembrance, good night, good morning, and namaste from the Supreme Soul, Bap Dada, and the most elevated soul. Good morning, Bap Dada. Let's do the Murli chanting.
Om Shanti, a wonderful Murli. There are two weaknesses Baba has highlighted, which become a barrier in becoming an embodiment of success and being a lighthouse and lighthouse for not only for self and others. These two weaknesses are, one is the laziness and the second is the carelessness. And these two weaknesses can be overcome by through a constant method of checking, and after checking one has to change, so that power to change, once we know exactly where these two weaknesses pop up, then the power we get to from check to change is from remembrance of Baba, through the remembrance of the Almighty Authority. Om Shanti.
Yes, anyone else?
Om Shanti, brother. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I really like these Avyakt Murlis, you know, why? Because they give you such a kind of a flow chart. And you cannot, what you say, slot these arrows unless you go through them fully or link. And by the time one link is there, Baba jumps to the next link. He speaks like, see, in the Murli, if at the end, only one word, one thing, constant checker. Everywhere, if you see, if I have that thing, constant checker, change maker and all comes less. But that word which Baba said about constant checker is the way, first he says, as I'm going from the downward side of the Murli, that's why I was just trying to link constant maker, then constant checker. Why I cannot be constant? Because of my two weaknesses. Then what happens? I cannot be blissful. I cannot be powerful, which Baba says, you have knowledge, you are Trikaldarshi, but still you cannot do. Then why no power? Because Baba says about those four subjects, about nothing in knowledge, in yoga, what happens in virtue. So only service, I was just saying Baba food, but he gave only the recipe for 3. Then I cannot become a Mastak Mani because I'm not a Santusht Mani. Then what is the job? Then what can I do? Where I can be a world benefactor? No world benefactor because I have no powers. And Baba is saying, I should think I am a Sun dynasty soul with all powers. I don't have a stock of powers. Then how can I become a lighthouse and lighthouse? No, if you just take a flow, draw a flow chart and go up and down up, we can fill in the other things as this. It's such a beautiful thing to these Avyakt Murlis when they link you up and down. I have a real psychologist or the real educator, I think, Baba gives us in these Avyakt Mulis. Om Shanti.
Very nice.
Om Shanti Bhaji. Another reflection I'd like to share is the fact which Baba brought out is blissful is being balanceful. Bliss comes from the balance of the soul. And second is that the ability to be seated in the original sanskars, that state of being in the or experiencing the original sanskars. That point also touched me. Om Shanti.
And yes, Baba talked about the titles. So we have to check that do I have that title of powerful? Am I how much is the person that I am able to implement whatever the knowledge I have acquired, I share. And like Baba says that laziness and carelessness. So when we have a purpose, when we have a habit of checking, when we have that aim in front of me that I want to be a world benefactor, not just benefactor, then I will have a constant attention. Am I that powerful? Is there any trace of any negativity in me which could radiate or which could hamper the other person's progress? So it puts a constant alarm on ourselves that not to be careless about bringing a change in myself, and not be lazy about changing the things I want to change. So this is the purpose. Aim is the ultimate thing which can help me to remove those subtle traces.
Brother, I just wanted to share one more thing. See, always they say, the person in the middle is always the one who's attacked. Here, see, when Baba speaks about Maharati horse riders, of course, he has not touched about infantry. Probably Baba thought, oh, my children are all not there in the infantry. He has not mentioned about it. But the way he has analyzed the reasons for these two vices, we only think about Kama, Krodha, Mada, Lobha, Moha. Baba knows my children have conquered all these vices and all. But these two vices are really pulling me down. The way Baba understood his children and the way he has analyzed when I say, what to do, Baba, my body is not allowing me to do it. I want to get up at Amrit Vela, Baba, but what to do? Night I had work, I had a job, I had office, I had, these kind of royal excuses which we give. And Baba is saying, my children are very clever. In what? In making up stories, in making up points, and blaming. So my children are very good lawyers, Baba is saying. I like the way Baba is trying to correct us either as a psychiatrist or as a child. And today he has given very nice, ask anyone about the Panch Swarup, he will very nice say, what are the 5 cycles, 5 this and all. Baba saying that way you're so good you are in the knowledge of spinning cycles, you're very good in spinning stories. I was just saying, oh Baba, how did you really see, each of these weaknesses when he highlights, it really touches you, pricks you. Oh my God, then I'm going to change. That one is enough for us as a know the surgeon that Baba is, that one paragraph where Baba is given. It's a beautiful paragraph, I think, worth reading and reading to know what is my sickness. Thank you, Baba, my eternal surgeon.
Yes, we have this habit, like Baba says, that as a defense mechanism, we put blame on people, situations so easily. In spite of knowing that I am at the fault, sometimes we do not accept it. We do not acknowledge it. So that's why Baba says that it has become our habit now, hiding, pretending, even at the subtle level. So we have to be very, very careful that how our mind plays games with us and how to break that pattern. Like Baba says that we have to, stop putting blame on the people, like questioning, so what, next what. We have to break this cycle and we have to take full responsibility for our own behavior.
Om Shanti Vaiji. The other thing is that the lawyer justifies and the judge checks. Judge gives a judgment. I think we need to be the judges of our own self, be the checkers and makers, and not be the lawyers. Lawyers we can be for the others. We can ignore others' weaknesses, but not our own. That is also one of the takeaways for today's Murli. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Let's do the meditation now.
Brother, just one question I had. Baba is saying here, which really made me think that you don't even reveal that I am guilty. If you remember, Baba says, these devotees go and in front of the idols, and then they say, Nirgunhare, that I am full of all sins, I have no this. Baba saying, never say like that. Then, for me to go and tell I'm guilty in front of Baba, so it's better to go and tell an excuse. But how can I go and tell my father, yes, Father, I'm guilty? That one sentence I was thinking, Baba, you only told us no need to come and become a devotee and say, I am this, I am that, and all. That one sentence, could you please throw some light, brother?
Yeah, there's no point in being guilty. Baba says that you have this habit of being guilty and performing that mistake again and again. So just acknowledging, just sharing heart to heart, and it's not guilt. It's like a realization, like Baba says, that do you get that realization that this is not right? You have not done anything, you have done something wrong. So just acknowledging that yes, a mistake has happened and I will work on it, because I want to feel your means Baba's, I want to feel your love more, I want to get your blessings more, so I will work on it. So there's no space for guilt actually, just realization, subtle realizations that okay, it has happened, but if I do it in the right way, then I will get your love, blessings, and I will have my self-esteem more. I will feel good about myself more if I don't do that, if I follow this path of elevating myself more and more. So this is what we can do, because this creates the space of clarity and the transformation. When we are guilty, when we are sad, this blocks our vision. It creates confusions, clouds. But when we acknowledge, uh, it gives us the clarity to, I need to work on that, I need to improve on that. like like Baba says today, no, that checkers. So only that soul can check who is absolutely still, absolutely calm, peaceful. Then only we'll be able to check the ripples, we'll be able to check what is causing me agitation, negativity. So stillness is very much important. For that stillness, that just an acknowledgement is more than enough, that this is where I need to work. This is how it can go. So let's take 2-3 minutes and prepare ourselves for today's purpose, my task, my to-be list for today. According to today's Murli, I am a lighthouse and a might house. I am a soul at the center of forehead, radiating light, pure vibrations, vibrations of powers, all the souls of this world. I am Master Almighty Authority. I have all the powers. Baba's powers is absorbed by me. I am a jewel of contentment. I am a knowledgeful soul, powerful soul, a senseful soul, full of divine virtues. Throughout the day, I will check myself very honestly, accurately. Every 30 minutes, I will check where my mind and intellect was, what I was thinking. Throughout the day, I will be in connection with Baba and radiate purity, powers, love all the souls near to me. I am a wise soul and I take responsibility of how I feel. And if I make a mistake, I will acknowledge it. I will accept it. Accepting mistake is a sign of powerful soul. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Hitesh Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. Have a wonderful day. We meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.